Hey guys, it's BNet. Today we're going to go over the most common mistakes that new players make in Flesh and Blood. The first mistake is blocking with their equipment too early. We see new players doing this because they feel pressured to block a big attack. And this is bad because by using your 1 or 2 time blocks on raw damage instead of waiting for on-hit effects, you're actually blocking less damage than you would be by blocking those on-hit effects. And saving your equipment for a turn where you have a strong offensive setup can allow you to take the tempo by leaving the cards in your hand. And then saving your equipment to add to a block, such as blocking with a 3 block and a 1 block equipment, can stop an on-hit from a card like Snatch. I fucking one-take Draked it. I didn't even read that shit.
No, you didn't.
Another mistake new players make is not setting up their next turn with their arsenal. Putting a card into your arsenal at the end of the turn is very important in this game because it essentially means you draw 2 cards because you are drawing a card to replace it and you're getting another card for next turn. Arsenaling a card allows it to be cast next turn and potentially gain more value from buff effects. Too many new players will instead send negligible damage at the opponent at the end of their combat chain instead of arsenaling the card to have a 5-card hand for the next turn. Another mistake new players make is not thinking of their own turn when they're blocking. You're able to calculate your own turn when your opponent starts attacking you, and the best way to do this is to figure out what your max damage is with your hand. So you might figure out that you have an extra card left over because you don't have go again on one of your attacks. Then you get to arsenal that card next turn. If your opponent's making you block with your full hand essentially, and you can maybe save 1 card, you should think about what is the best card to actually arsenal for the next turn. Another mistake new players make is they're too scared to take off turns. When your opponent plays one of their strongest cards, don't be afraid to block out their entire turn to minimize the damage taken. Here's a quick list of each hero's payoff cards. Fai has Spreading Flames and Art of War. Dorinthia has Steelblade Supremacy, Glistening Steelblade. Briar has Force of Nature and Channel Mount Heroic. Viscera has Mordred Tide and Revel in Rude-Blood. Dash has Teklo Pounder, High Octane, and Maximum Velocity. Lexi has Rain Razors, 3 of a Kind, and Art of War. Bravo has Crippling Crush, Spinal Crush, and all of his crush effects. Oldhim has Oakenhold. Prism is Living Legend. Dromai has Kyloria. Katsu has Whelming Gustwave. Rhinar and Levia have their Blood Rush Bellows turns and Swing Big. And Kano has Aether Wildfire, Spindle, and Sonic Boom. The 5th mistake new players make is not playing to their hero's identity. This one may seem a bit obvious, but a lot of new players will block when they're behind, even with heroes such as Fai, Briar, or Dash, where they want to keep cards in their hand, just because they're on a lower life total and they're not realizing that their hand is actually worth more offensively. The same goes for defensive heroes like Oldhim, Bravo, and Icelander, where they're not blocking as much as they should because they think they have a stronger aggressive hand. The last mistake new players make is underestimating the importance of life totals. You should not be afraid to go low on life because winning the game on 3 is the same as winning the game on 30. And this is one of the main reasons why you don't really want to block raw damage. The life totals can encourage you to actually play against your hero's identity as well. So for an example, Oldhims tend to block heavily, but if the opponent is low on life, it's better to keep attacks with Dominate or with 8 to 10 power just to end the game. And aggressive heroes like Fai and Briar should be blocking on-hit effects like Snatch, because blocking with one of your cards can actually prevent more damage from the opponent than you would be able to deal with it offensively. Making mistakes is how you improve as long as you identify them and take accountability and you don't just blame variance. As you play more Flesh and Blood, these things will come naturally and you'll remember times where you didn't have equipment available for on-hits or the times you should have taken an off turn. Thanks for watching and let us know what the biggest mistake you've made in a tournament is, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.